All right, all right, all right. This is Doc Ock at noon and 9. So you know what time it is right now. It's got to be 9 because it definitely ain't noon. Absolutely, absolutely. And we're ready to go tonight with our proverb of the evening, which is crow and cone can't grow in the same field. Crow and cone can't grow in the same field. And that's a plantation proverb. Extra for tonight is about a man by the name of Prime Minister Lyndon O. Penling. Lyndon O. Penling. I know y'all probably never heard of him before. Oops. Not going to hear from him out of that book either. Let's see where to go. Oh, over here. Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm saving that one for tomorrow night. Because tonight I'm going to finish up on the Cowboys. That's right. That's why I got a different book here in my hand, in my hand, in my hand. So, we got 4 people we're featuring tonight. You can see some of them right here. All right. There you go. Boom. 4 people we're featuring tonight, including James Beckworth. Yep, Jesse Stahl, Cowboy Rodeo star. Barney Ford, and Bob Lemons. So let's see exactly who these people are. Now, James P. Beckworth, he's probably the most famous of all of them because he was a Indian chief. He was an Army scout. He was a entrepreneur, store owner, trader, and he was an explorer because he also found the lowest pass to get you down into the Sacramento Valley and down on into what they call that San Joaquin Valley, and then on over to San Francisco. And if you could find the lowest pass where you could avoid that snow, so you wouldn't have to end up being like frozen popsicles, like some of the people that went down in that lower pass in California. I mean, in near Los Angeles, the Donner Pass. So you could avoid being a Donner popsicle. Then you found something that was extremely valuable. And plus, he put his trading post right there on that pass as well. That's the entrepreneurial spirit that he had. So let's read a little bit about James P. Beckworth and see just who he be. James P. Beckworth. Here we go. See what we got here. Beckworth was one of a group of pioneer traders and trappers known as mountain men. That's right, he was a mountain man, okay? He also owned and operated a ranch and a general store. He discovered a pass through the Sierra Nevada mountains to California, known today as the what? Of course, the Beckworth Pass. He died at the age of 69 while on a peace mission to the Crow Indians. Now, they didn't mention him being an Indian chief, but he was also an Indian chief as well. That's right, a black Indian chief. And we got some other black Indians around here still, you know, gallivanting around. I'm one of them. But there's a bunch of other ones out there, including the Wild Chapatulas. You can look them up online. Look up the Wild Chapatulas. That's Tchapoulas. That's Tchapoulas, the Wild Chapatulas. I believe I spelled that right. If I didn't, Google will correct me anyway. Jesse Stahl was a rodeo star at the same time as Bill Pickett. He won enough bulldogging and bull riding contests to be called the world's best bronco rider. Jesse Stahl. Bob Lemons, a Mustanger who caught herds of wild horses for resale. He was unusual in that he had his own method and worked alone. He didn't work with nobody else. It's one of the real Lone Rangers. He spent weeks with the herd until they accepted him as one of them, and then he became their leader and led them right on back to the corral. Okay, so you talk about a horse whisperer. Yeah, he's the horse whisperer's whisperer. Barney Ford owned and operated the Inner Ocean Hotel in Denver, Colorado, the most elegant and famous hotel between St. Louis and San Fran. It was host to millionaires, statesmen, and presidents. The reputation of Ford's Hotel was so great that he was asked to build another one in Cheyenne, Wyoming. He was also very active in the politics of Colorado and helped Colorado attain statehood. So he's also one of the fathers of Colorado. the fathers of Colorado, and a real mountain man. And now, on to the main story coming out of the book, The Importance of Pot Liquor by our good friend and storyteller, Jackie Torrance. So let's see what we got here tonight. Tonight, we got a story about hunting. Brer Rabbit goes hunting. Let's see what Brer Rabbit do. Brer Rabbit goes hunting. Little girls don't pay attention to the change of seasons. One day you got on a big coat with undershirts and long pants and leggings, and the next day an organdy dress, starched and crisp, thin and cool. I never paid much attention to the seasons, but I did know that when we put on coats, Santa Claus was not far away. I remember asking Pa about the sounds we could hear in the night. He told me it was gunshots I heard. People were hunting in the woods. In the fall or winter, you could hear those sounds every single night. My uncles would bring rabbits and squirrels and possum and raccoon for Grandma to cook. I never knew exactly what I was eating. It was always meat to me. But Pa would really make over the meals when we had something like that for dinner. Something wild. When I tell the story about Brer Rabbit going hunting, my mind goes back to those long, cool nights out in the countryside. It was one of those bright days in the big woods, a day when most animals were working and doing all they could while the sun was shining, but not so for Brer Rabbit. He woke up that morning feeling kind of lazy. He walked out to the big road and decided the sun was too hot for him to go any further. So he just set himself beside the road and laid back under a shade tree. Well, by and by, along come Brer Bear with a sack in his hand. Well, howdy, Brer Rabbit. It's a fine day, don't you think? Howdy, Brer Bear. It is indeed the finest day I've ever seen. Where are you off to with that tow sack? I'm going turkey hunting. I was thinking of doing a little hunting myself, but seeing as how you'll be hunting around here, I wouldn't want to take all the turkeys from you. I do appreciate that considerably, said Brer Bear, and maybe tomorrow will be just as fine a day as today. You can go hunting yourself. Brer Rabbit had no more urge to hunt than anything. He said goodbye to Brer Bear and lay back under the shade tree for the rest of the day. By and by, Brer Bear headed back toward home with a sack full of turkeys. Now, Brer Rabbit had been sitting there under a tree for a mighty long time, and his stomach was empty. He spotted Brer Bear coming and thought how much he'd really enjoy having roast turkey for supper. Brer Bear didn't see Brer Rabbit sitting back under that tree and walked along happily as he could be with that sack full of wild turkeys. Brer Rabbit suddenly ran into the woods, then come back out to the road, where he lay down with a stick that looked like an arrow beneath his arm. Brer Bear come along and saw Brer Rabbit lying in the road. He couldn't believe his eyes. "Lordsy be," said Brer Bear. "This here's a dead rabbit. I sure could do with a little rabbit stew for supper. If I didn't have a sack already full of turkeys, I'd take me this rabbit." But Brer Bear just shook his head and walked on. Brer Rabbit jumped up and ran as fast as he could through the woods, then back out onto the road where he put that stick under his arm and lay down on the road again. Down the road come Brer Bear, slow and unconcerned. "Well, do tell," said Brer Bear, "if it ain't another dead rabbit. There's one back there in the road and one here. Why, that's two. If I didn't have this sack of turkeys, I sure would have me some rabbit stew for a time." My, he said, and walked on. Brer Rabbit got up and ran as fast as he could through the woods and back out onto the road. He placed the stick beneath his arm and stretched out in the road again. Down the road come Brother Bear with his sack of turkeys. He spied Brother Rabbit on the road. Why, ain't this nothing? Somebody's been shooting a whole heap of rabbits and just leaving them. Here's one here, and there's another back there, and there's one further back from there. That's enough rabbits for weeks of stew. I won't have to hunt at all if I get them rabbits. Brother Bear put his sack of turkeys down so he could carry those 3 rabbits. Then he turned and ran back down the road, singing as he went along. Rabbit stew for 1, rabbit stew for 2, rabbit stew for me, and rabbit stew for you. Brother Rabbit jumped up, grabbed that sack of turkeys, and ran as fast as he could through the woods, singing as he went along. Roasted turkeys for 1, roasted turkeys for 2, roasted turkeys for me, and none for you. I'll fool you again, laughed Brother Rabbit, and home he went with his sack of turkeys. Now, what does that tell you? Did you learn anything from that story? I hope you learned something from that story, because you should have got something out of it other than rabbit stew. Okay? So, I want y'all to think about that. That when you see something, when you already got something in your sack, and your sack is full, and you see something else that looks even better than what you got in your sack, just keep right on moving, because dang nabbit, there may not be anything better than some rabbit, but there sure is something a whole lot better than no rabbit and no turkeys either. So don't be a turkey. Be happy with your beef jerky. Now, meanwhile, this is Doc Ock signing off. Doc Ock at noon and 9, as a matter of fact. So what I need all you little children out there to do is to lay down your little heads right on your little bed. And when you do, lay that little head down on that little pillow on your little bed. Close those little eyes and just imagine what you can do tomorrow. Sleep tight, sleep right. Sorry about that. And don't let those bed bugs bite. But if they do, hit them with a shoe till they all turn black and blue. Meanwhile, for you adults, you know the vibe, you know the word, you know what the word is. The word is it's time to get down. I told you I was going to be putting up some books. If anybody out there is interested in this Freedom Challenge book, I'll be having some of these in stock. I'm working on it right now as we speak. So if you need one, I will be able to get them to you for a discounted price. Much less than what they're selling for on Amazon right now. So look up the book on Amazon. Think about what you're going to do with your children. And while you're chilling and thinking about your children, think about me. And I hope when you do, you get a big grin from your ear to your chin. Meanwhile, we're out and about. But we'll be black right here tomorrow at noon. We'll see you then. In the meantime, in the meanwhile, peace out.